Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Cobb Brothers podcast, yet another iteration. I'm Cyrus. I'm your host today, and I'm joined by my friends and fellow co-host, Colton,
Yo, what's cracking lacking?
the man in my walls, Brandon.
You don't know which wall.
That sucks. There's four of them. I don't even know. And Elmar,
Hey, we're just gonna ignore that he's in your walls, huh?
forever has been.
Okay, cool.
He
Anyway,
tries to ignore it.
He refuses to leave.
new house, new
You
walls.
refuse to ignore it.
Oh, I can't ignore it. There's nothing I can do about it.
You can ignore it, and then maybe it'll go away. You refuse to ignore it, ergo I will not go away. The more you think of me, the more I'll be there.
I have paranoia and dread, so like it's not helping.
I'm about to start thinking like Jimmy Neutron, you know? think.
You went to your doctor and you told him everything was going on. He just went, I know what's going on. You got dread.
Judge even.
Dread?
Yeah.
You have the dread.
I think he meant to say you have the drip.
I'm dripping right now.
Oh.
With sweat.
With sweat because it's so hot. Today was a cooler day. Cooler days prevail.
Yeah, bro, it
Nice.
got humid. It got pretty humid. Start sprinkling a little bit.
Hey, what's going on new with everybody? We took a week off, an unexpected week off, even though it was planned.
Episodes of The Boys and Stardew Valley is what I've been up to.
At the same time,
Yeah. What else do you do?
I've been working on my truck, and it's been one problem after another.
can relate like deeply on that level.
I am now having to reattach a front drive line. I'm ready. I am ready to just burn it to the ground.
Become a car manufacturer and build your own. I bet you could do it better too.
Probably.
It's easier to identify what the problem is because, like, how did it happen? Oh, I know what that is. Happened to me 20 times when I was putting the bitch together.
What manual? I'm me. I'll figure it out.
My name's not Manuel.
Oh yes, the car, the engine. It is it's engine.
You see how this thing steers? Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah.
Don't know how it
Yeah.
works, but it's working. We should do away with the steering wheel. I think it's far too impractical in today's world. We should like be
We
able
should
to lean
replace
in
it
our
with a
cars. Yeah, like an egg yolk.
No, like the yoke that they put in the Teslas that are the most impractical way to turn a corner.
My mind went to egg yolk too, bro. I was like, oh, excuse me? So you mean to tell me they can't hit the corners in the Teslas? Is that what you're telling me? They were
Well,
racing?
the steering wheels aren't round, and if you turn the wheel, 90 degrees, then it is vertical, and there's nothing for you to grab onto to continue controlling your vehicle through a corner.
I see.
They're very well built. I think I was told. That's what I was made to believe.
Elon, make believe.
Elon, you better get to it, bro. What are you doing? Come on.
All right, boys. Gaming news. Xbox gamers have been having it too good for too long. We've been paying next to nothing for Xbox Game Pass. It was only a little bit more than gold, and it got you gold and some more benefits. Daddy Microsoft has decided to raise the price of Game Pass Ultimate once again to a flat $20 per month, up from the I think it was $16.99 before.
Wow.
Also up from $14.99 last year, so $5 in a year. With two price increases, they are introducing a new tier of Game Pass titled Game Pass Standard that will be $14.99 a month. The only caveat to that plan is you won't get day one releases. For example, Obsidian's game Avowed that's coming out later this year, you won't be able to play it day one. It'll come to Game Pass at a later date. That won't be announced until it does come to Game Pass Standard.
Wow.
So in turn, they're also doing away with Game Pass console. They're honoring
Game Pass console?
yes,
What?
so you can get just Game Pass console that doesn't come with gold, but they're doing away with that plan to try and get people to sign up for Game Pass Standard, which is more expensive than just Game Pass console.
Jeez. Fucking guys always want my money. Just let me live, bro. Just let me live.
But yeah, so now Xbox has continued its trend of extremely confusing naming conventions by having Xbox Game Pass Core, Xbox Game Pass Standard, and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Also, Xbox Game Pass PC.
They're just following the examples led out to them by AMD and Intel and Nvidia over the years.
Oh, where they make up those numbers for their video cards?
Well, so they've just recently, like this year, changed the protocol for the way the naming scheme goes. It's no longer like the first number is like the generation of the processor. It's like the third number is now the generation of the processor, and the first number is like an arbitrary nothing number, and It's just a confusing load of bullshit.
So, for example, if we're talking about like the 1300 series, it's the 3 that defines the model, like the year.
So like if you have like a AMD, I can't even think of what the new series is, like the 7950s. The 50 is actually the CPU like generation or whatever, and the first number is like the year it was produced or something. I can't even remember. It's just a confusing mess now.
So, big shout out to Sony for constantly releasing consoles named the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. What do you think the next one would be called?
The PlayStation.
The 5
12.
Plus.
5 Mini.
The Series 5.
Xbox Series X Pro Max.
The 5 Slim.
5 Slim sounds pretty accurate, actually.
We do
What
got the
about
5 Slim.
5 Thick? And it's like an even heavier console with even more processing power, you know?
With 3 seats.
Fuck making a smaller console with all that. Just take
PS5
3 of the
thick.
consoles and smash it together. 3 times the processing power right there. It's just a thick.
The PS Thick.
Only that's how that worked.
PS thick instead of PS6.
It's heavy bottomed, okay?
It's a PS Thick.
Yeah. Yeah, they keep making consoles smaller. I want them
Oreo
bigger.
can make a double stuff, you know? You just take what you're making and then double it.
Oscar's not
It's-
here.
Double stuffed Oreos, though. Yeah.
Is Oscar our double stuffed Oreo?
Oh, he's
Ha!
Oreo Stroganoff.
I'm sorry, he's what?
His name is Oreo Stroganoff.
Hey, man,
He's doing
said
what to
we
that
were
Oreo?
stroking him off. Stroking him off. But yeah, shout out Sony, bro.
Nintendo's even weirder. They don't even put numbers. They go, hey, this is the Super Nintendo. So you think, 95, 96 rolls around and the Super Duper Nintendo would come out. Now it's the 64. Like, we're just going to jump 62?
Like, wait a minute.
That's
hell.
Had 64-bit processing.
That's hell, bro. Where was 3-bit processing for the third Nintendo
Then
console,
we
you know?
got the GameCube.
What about
Well,
the 60-bit processing or the
first
59?
Nintendo was 8-bit. The second Nintendo was 16-bit.
And so they went to 64 instead of 69-bit. That was the real marketing error.
Yeah.
Well, considering computers run in multiples of 8.
And
Mhm.
also considering that I was making a joke. Both cases are.
I don't get jokes, dude. That's not how I roll. Sorry, Brandon.
If you
know
don't get
me.
my jokes, then you're gonna get my choke when I walk into your walls later tonight.
Wow.
And I remember you have the 2 bottom steps going into your room now. I won't trip in the middle of the night.
Man, okay, so the reason we took last week off was because that Saturday, everyone was helping me move into my new place. So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for helping.
No problem, dude.
Hell yeah.
Got you.
We
man.
just couldn't find the time during the weekend to record because we had a birthday party to do the next day, and David was
Yeah, I
pretty
was
tied up.
there.
Hell yeah, you were
No, I
there.
wasn't.
Yeah, no, I remember you were there. Yeah, we pushed you in the pool.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, he was
I
in
was
the
in the
walls.
pool. I was in the pool. Yeah, I was also in the walls.
Yeah, in the walls.
Exactly.
But
Take the shit, you know?
so my house has this weird convention now where when you walk into the master bedroom, there's 2 steps down to where the bed is, and everybody has eaten shit on those pair of steps.
I was
Without
like the
fail.
only one. When I walked into that room, I went, "Oh, there's steps there," and I stepped down, and then you were walking in and it was like, "Okay, watch your step, everybody," and people almost walked over. I was like, "You guys really didn't see that?"
You know what happened? I'm not very familiar with the room. You know, you get like the muscle memory of walking down those steps when you do it a bunch of times. I was holding
I
a
don't
box.
because I walked on them once.
I was carrying a box, so I had no sight. I was just walking into the room, and then I threw the box because I fell, and it's enough to never do it again. You have
Oh,
to
yeah.
fall to like get that memory, you know?
Dude,
It's like
look,
like
I
a bike.
went into your backyard before when going upstairs and just going in that one little spot right below that step. That little piece of concrete is like 2 inches below the rest of the patio. And I noticed that immediately, and I was like, "Ellie, if you're running, don't run right there. You're gonna twist your ankle." And when Sadie showed up, I was like, "Hey, watch your step. You're gonna twist your ankle."
It's the front and back steps. I don't know why whoever put those steps in decided, let's make one really big one.
When you ain't expecting it, it shows up automatically.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, your house is nice as fuck, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got my own studio now.
Congratulate y'all.
For sure, for sure.
It's nice.
I was going to say, I will say, though, being so busy this week, I just haven't been catching up on anything. I tried to watch The Boys, Brandon, and, like, I got 20 minutes into an episode just because I had to keep pausing it, set it down, move it. Oh, God, Huey's ass cheeks are out. Why is he sitting on that cake?
Yeah.
So, do you watch The Boys by yourself? Or do you have, like, a party over? Like,
No, I sit down with my mother and I watch The Boys every Thursday night. It's a totally family-friendly show.
you warned me. You said the last one was pretty rough, and it is.
Yeah. It's the most uncomfortable. Episode 4, season 4 is the most uncomfortable I've ever been watching a show.
That's fair. Man,
It's mostly because I forgot my safe word too.
Cinnamon.
Pineapple pen.
Speaking of disturbing shows, Amazon Prime's got a new Sausage Party series that brings back Seth Rogen as a hot dog.
Oh no.
Oh man, you guys have seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I remember
It's
I
great.
saw it at the drive-in, and like this pickup truck pulled up, and they had like a bunch of kids in the back that were like 8 years old. And the first thought running through my mind was, oh, these parents obviously don't know what the kind of movie this is. No, they stayed the whole fucking movie.
Those are great parents.
Great parents, yeah. This food gangbang was happening, and they had to explain that it's just a barbecue at Uncle Daniel's house.
Their kids already knew what a food gangbang was. Let's not beat around
Their
the
parents
bush
are
here.
sweet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, yeah, that too. I was just gonna say, they probably have, their own little sausage party of their own.
What
No
are you
pun
talking
intended.
about?
I'm talking about like kids making random ass foods, because they're like, oh, this looks good, let me fucking make this.
There's probably better words for that
Probably, yeah.
than a
Yeah,
kid's
yeah.
sausage party.
Pause.
Well, Hilmar's on a list now.
Sorry, Homar. It was nice knowing you.
Another one.
Did you say another one?
Yeah.
What's the first one? Oh, he left the Discord call. What was the first one?
The NASA watch list. Yeah,
Is Helmar beefing with the stars?
Nah, I just be in the stars.
Name your least favorite planet and why.
Pluto, because it
Pluto.
doesn't exist apparently.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Omar. Pluto.
Yeah.
It's not a planet.
Pluto is a planet. They
It's an
reclassified it
exoplanet.
as
It's
they
an
reclassified it
exoplanet.
as a protoplanet. Thank you very much.
It's smaller than
go.
the moon.
It is a
It's not a
protoplanet.
planet. Just because it goes
They
around the
called-
sun doesn't make it a
They
planet.
reclassified it as a protoplanet.
There are asteroids in the asteroid belt bigger than Pluto, and we haven't named them.
Congratulations!
I don't
I'm
care.
talking about what NASA actually called it, and they reclassified it as a protoplanet. They
Still
took
not a
away its
planet.
planet status and then they gave it back.
It's not a planet.
A protoplanet is still a planet. Thank you very
And
much.
then every
It still
asteroid in the
orbits our
asteroid
sun.
belt's a planet.
They're not
There's
orbiting the sun.
The asteroid belt isn't orbiting the sun. Colton said it here.
You know, it is orbiting the sun.
Me.
The
Just like
fucking
you said,
Earth is,
Pluto's
I feel
not a
like
planet
it's way
here.
too close, bro. Way too close.
Pluto might be a planet.
Oh, for sure. I believe so, but they said it's not. But
I remember when
I
they
don't
took
know.
it away,
What do I know?
but I did hear something about them putting it back. So I'm with Colton on this one. Not putting it back. It's not like they just took
I was-
Pluto away. Like it
Yeah,
just
they-
got
I was-
destocked.
They
I was
said
just
it
like,
wasn't a planet. Everybody lost their minds. They're like, okay, it's a protoplanet.
I've been forever thought it was a planet, even when they said it wasn't a planet. I'm like, okay, you guys are stupid. And then they're like, oh, now it's a planet again. I'm like, okay, you're stupid for just having to say that, bro. Just let people think what they want to think, bro. It's either a planet or not. Like, I don't know.
We
What
need-
do I know, man?
We just need
Anyways,
Tim and Moby to explain it to us.
The Boys.
The two boys. Did y'all
What
ever?
other shows, guys?
Oh, other shows? I've been watching Kitchen Nightmares a lot this week.
Who?
Oh, it's so funny listening to that man yell. I just don't get it. It's his voice is soothing, but it cuts deep.
Real deep.
Does that make sense?
Deeper than any blade.
There's comfort in his yelling because he loves them. He wants them to be better.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've seen it, but anytime I like see anything like a show that involves cooking, I'm just like, fuck, bro. I need to become a chef. ASAP Rocky.
It inspires you to think that you can actually cook. And then I stand in
Yeah,
the
bro, 'cause
kitchen
I
and make
can't cook
ramen
shit.
again.
Exactly. And go back and make some basic quesadillas,
hmm
couple taquitos,
You're like, I'm gonna put onions in this quesadilla. Fucking fancy.
Yeah, bro.
Look at that. Food
Look
groups.
at that. I mean, it's different kind of cheese. Look at that. Fucking. I tried to get back into playing Apex. I haven't played that game in a fat minute, bro. And it's reminding me why I stopped playing that game because it's
They just
more
split the
competitive.
battle pass into two separate tiers. Like it's 2 battle passes a month now.
What the hell?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Are
They
they
added the
stupid?
second battle pass to it.
I seen that they also added squads to it as well. I was like, what? It only took them fucking forever. But and me to
Those
stop
come
playing the
and
game.
go. They're not in it always.
Really? I don't know. I remember they had duos and then they took that one out too. And that one is in there for a fat minute, bro. Because they still have a couple other game modes up in there as well. That I thought was just gonna come and go, but I think they made it a part of the game.
Yeah, they cycle them in and out.
Yeah.
from what I've seen. When I'm been playing it.
Yeah, but no, I've been trying to get back into that. And I think only reason is because like I've been watching like certain YouTubers or streamers or whatever play games, and it makes me feel competitive too. I'm like, oh shit, I remember when I used to play this game. I'm like, they're not that good either. It's cool. Gives me hope, you know?
I feel like that's the death of every successful multiplayer game is when it just gets too competitive.
Yeah,
There's
dude,
all the fun is lost. It's like buy skins, be sweaty, get mad.
literally.
Well, it's
Get
because
mad.
they take away your ability to play the game casually and enjoy it.
Yeah, bro, I used to
Skill-based
play that game
matchmaking ruins
religiously.
everything.
Think about Call of Duty, like before. When did the pro scene get big? Probably like around MW3 Black Ops 2 when they added the Codcaster into private games. Like those games were broken and they would tweak very, very few things in it. Because they just went, oh, this is broken. That's fine. We'll just buff something else and see if it works. Like I remember the biggest nerf that hit. I think it was Black Ops 2. It was the bolt action sniper when they made the time to pull back the bolt even longer, which made quick scoping very, very difficult with the weapon. Vonderhaar got death threats on Twitter for just increasing something by like 0.3, 0.4 seconds, something very, very minor.
It did something like that with the model 1884 shotguns too.
Yeah, because they used to have ridiculous range at launch, right?
Yeah.
Those are the stories I heard. I did not play MW2 at launch, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Akimbo 1884s were insane.
Also the Rafficas. Man, I could never get behind the Raffica. Something about a 3-round burst pistol just doesn't make sense. But pointing at another game series like Gears of War, I mean, there's just 5 core weapons in the very first game, but the Gnasher was so overpowered that it's still the go-to weapon in Gears 5 throughout every Gears game. They've just accepted that it's use the Gnasher. If you're good with the torque bow, blind shot it. And here's a sniper for you fucking weirdos that got really good with it. Has anybody here tried out the First Descendant yet?
No.
No.
Nope.
So I downloaded on Steam. I've been talking to Tyson about it. It feels like another just looter shooter Destiny type game. The caveat is it's free to play. You don't have to pay $60 for it to go free a few years later. I'm not mad about it still.
Yeah, it
Sidebar.
looks kind of like Exoprimal.
Oh, never mind.
Exoprimal. You think so?
Yeah, that was the feeling I got from it.
And it's funny you brought up Exoprimal as well because Capcom announced that they're not going to be putting any new content into the game. And that
doesn't surprise me.
they're basically shelving it and saying that they're going to put it on a rotating list of items that are going to go into the shop. It's kind of sad, man, because I was thinking about other games like that. Like I remember when Second Extinction hit Game Pass and it was a game preview. And then the game folded before it ever got fully launched.
That happens a lot with these early access games.
I hate that early access title because it felt like Second Extinction was a full release. It wasn't lacking anything. I mean, besides content.
Like build a base and you have to like go mining and stuff like that. And they scrapped it before it ever fully launched.
I feel like early access is just an excuse to launch a game with little content. Like it should have an asterisk around, you know, I don't know. It was like the 76 beta. Crowdfunding, and then it can just get rug pulled at any time. But I do think I remember that game you were talking about because it was a big deal when they just said, all right, we're done. Bye. Pull off the marketplace. Fuck everybody that put money into it.
Yeah, it was like EverQuest Lands or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Get another Star Citizen. I feel like that's where we should put our time into is the most crowdfunded thing of all time. Carbos build a game. But instead of us building the game, it's just like us sitting around a bunch of computers learning to code.
Cyrus Software is hosting a game jam starting the 17th.
I was going to ask what the rules were, but they don't announce it until it starts. I always love looking at the game jam rules because they sound so easy until you get into one and you realize you can't do a lot of things because either you don't have enough time or...
His is cool because he's like, if you've never built a game before, do it anyway.
What's the worst that happens? You don't win?
Yeah, and you'll learn something along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most game jams are just about time management. You and I used to host a couple game jams for like the higher programming classes for computer science. And I know the winners were based off of like reviews of the games and ratings. So there would be posters all over the engineering hallways with QR codes to download their games. And the smartest kids were the ones that were able to get it to work on any mobile browser instead of having to download an app.
Well, yeah, and see, like, that's one of the requirements for Pirate Software's Game Jam is it has to work in browser on itch.io. You have to submit it through itch.io, and it has to work in browser.
Does that work? Does that mean, you know, loading it up on a computer and a phone anywhere that you can load up a browser?
Yeah, any web browser. Yeah.
So if I get on my Nintendo DS and I open the internet browser, right?
Theoretically.
That sounds like it would suck. Although I don't even know if you can get online on a DS anymore.
If it's hacked, you can.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got a Wii U that my buddy's throwing out an idea to hack.
It's super easy to do it. You literally just need to put software on the SD card and then run a file.
So the problem
I think
is
it's announced Wii.
oh, the Wii too.
Yes.
Except
Well, no, because
The
I was
Wii
saying,
us.
the Wii, because, isn't you fucking... Wait, no, never mind. But
yes,
just disregard what I just said. Forget about it. Yep.
The only problem with the
You were
Wii that
gonna say there was. I was gonna say you were gonna say there's a problem with it.
oh, there's a spider. Oh,
Kill him!
You better
damn,
fucking kill him!
damn.
That was the calmest spider reaction I've ever heard Cyrus do.
Yeah,
honestly.
Dude, it was fucking flying on a web in front of my webcam. What the hell? The only light source in my room. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt everybody, but geez Louise.
That was hilarious.
That was great.
Did we tell the story of me seeing the spider at Brandon's house when we were taking out the deck?
I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but that's a good one.
Okay. Does anybody want to tell it for me?
Same day I seen one in my
Okay,
shed, bro.
we were
God.
tearing down the deck, and at one point my mom went out and she was like, "Yeah, thanks guys for doing that. Make sure you look down every now and again. Make sure there's no spiders going around." And Cyrus was like, "I haven't seen any spiders yet, but that's good advice." And he looked down and he saw a giant fucking black widow.
Running at me. It was coming at me. It's like I think your mom put that there. What the fuck?
Set
I
us
need to
up, bro.
talk to her.
Set
Right, all
us
the
up.
spiders under her deck.
I gotta have a
I can see it.
conversation. But that was the second one. The first one was we had just started, and one had ran under the rafters, and I jumped and I screamed. And the way that I screamed, Brandon's like, "Dude, is Homer Simpson here?"
Yeah, it sounded just like because it sounded just like Oscar's one in that Super Bowl thing that we did. It's just just sounded just like Homer Simpson.
Hell no. Oh, dude, I had another run-in with a bug today. I sent a photo of the wasps hanging on my side rearview mirror in my car. So what happened is I shut the door and I was sitting there talking to my mom, and I felt this like excruciating pain on my forearm. And I was like, "What the fuck?" I slammed my keys into the dirt because I just had to, let out whatever I had in my hand. And I start screaming and I'm slapping my arm, and I finally see that there's a wasp, and I had to hit that bitch like 3 times to kill it. My mom was looking at me all confused, thinking I'm having a breakdown. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "This wasp just attacked me out of fucking nowhere." Well, we moved the car and drive it forward a little bit, and I look out my rearview mirrors because I had to back up, and I noticed 4 or 5 wasps coming out in between the mirror and the plastic.
Yeah,
And so
they like that spot.
Yeah, so I get out of the car and I look in between the mirror, and there's clearly a nest in there. I'm like, "Motherfuckers." I was like, when I slammed the door, I probably pissed them off, and I'm glad it was only one that stung me. Also, first time I've been stung by a wasp, that shit is tingly.
Did it
Fuck
get
that
puffy
shit.
at all?
No, like my arm's fine now, but it was like starting to hive up for like an hour, and then it just went away.
Dude, I stepped on one of those like little tiny wasps. They call them meat bees when I was a kid. And it made the bottom of my foot swell to the size of a softball. And I'm not allergic to bees or wasp stings.
Jesus Christ.
There's a colony, or not, it's not really a colony, but there's a few wasps that have made a little nest right outside in my the little fire pit that's sitting out there. And me and my mom have been talking about how to get rid of it, and at one point I was just like, I mean, honestly, they're inside the fire pit and there's dry firewood in there. Just pour some lighter fluid on the other side and light it and run inside.
Period.
Problem
do it.
solved.
Do it.
Like, we don't have to get no raid, no whatever, because they're literally like right on the edge of the top of where there's like the spark catching grating where like you can see the fire and it's not just flat metal. They're literally just right there. When I was just outside with Daisy before we started, I looked at it and there was like 4 or 5 of them. They're just chilling, like the drone ones, just chilling on the outside of it, protecting it. And I'm like, when they're out and about active in the day, just pour some lighter fluid on that. Or open up the top of the chimney and just pour some shit down there and just drop a match in.
Voila.
It's got to be faster than they are.
Wasp Auschwitz.
Oh man.
They chose to fucking make their home in a goddamn chimney.
Unfortunately, this
Fuck
is
the
my
spider
home
that I
too.
killed last night at your house, guy. Mr. Cyrus. Fuck that spider I killed last night. It wasn't that big, but
Oh,
like
you got
you
a
know.
spider?
Well, no, cause like we were playing beer pong at the end of the night, and one of the fucking balls flew out, like was rolling. It was a runaway ball, you know. And I tried to go get it, and I tried to find it, and I looked in the corner with my flashlight. There was a spider web and a spider just chilling. I'm like, oh shit, it's a spider! And I stomped on that hoe, but I was kind of like yelling, and Cyrus was like, bro, it's like the middle of the night. We have neighbors. I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. It was a spider.
Yeah, everyone decided when they wanted to have like a loud conversation to step outside to do it. You know?
I don't know why, bro. Like, it wasn't even that loud in the freaking garage.
No, I just had that the little bit of music going, and that was it.
When I left, there was like 12 people in the garage, so it was hard to hold a conversation mixed with the cabinet.
Yeah, I dropped some people off, and when I came back, everybody, I guess, moved into the garage because it was raining a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I noticed there's hella spiders in this house. I try not to think about it.
Bug
Fuck
bomb
'em.
it.
Kill them all.
I might. The garage is the problem, mostly.
Bug bomb it and caulk all your like entrances and exits.
Mm-hmm.
Like make sure everything's sealed up nice.
Absolutely.
Just burn it down for the insurance money.
Uh-huh. I need
Wait a
renter's
minute.
insurance first, and now that you said it on air, like, this is evidence.
Dang, I ruined it all.
Yeah.
Fire.
Burn it down
That's
twice.
the one job.
Because nobody ever thinks to do it again. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out into the hills, right, over by Pyramid, and I'm going
Ice?
to... Yes, they do have ice, water babies. And I'm going to go start a wildfire and just hope it
No,
spreads.
not the water babies.
And that way, if it spreads, I could just be like, oh, no, oh, it was totally an accident, because everybody's now paying for it. In Minecraft, I would never do such a thing. In Minecraft.
I would definitely do that in
Minecraft.
Minecraft. I burned down several forests in Minecraft.
Deforestation projects? Nice.
Nice.
No, it's not a deforestation project. Deforestation
Oh, you
project.
good there, bro?
Hey, you had to get through it.
Guy?
Couldn't say project after the fourth fucking try.
Projecting
Projectile.
Bomb it.
his projectile dysfunction.
Come.
Holy hell. Yeah, no, spiders. I did see a black widow. I think our garage door wasn't working, so we had to get a new electric one. And the homeowners came in, and the dude walks in and goes, "Oh, black widow," and he just steps on it and goes, "Okay." Oh, what do you want, the electric door opener? He doesn't sound like that, but that makes it sound cooler.
It's cooler. The electric door opener.
Hey, what do you want?
Black Widow.
I got a bucket of bolts. You want some? Sorry, you're on bolt collection.
I think smoke
Bonzi?
detecting these new batteries just licks the whole smoke detector instead of the batteries. No, it's good.
God, he grabbed 2 wires because, like, garage door openers are notorious for carrying an insane amount of power, and you're supposed to be really careful. He fucking grabbed 2 exposed wires. He's like, all right, let's see if it sparks. Yeah, it did. Hand me a wire nut.
Instead of going to the fuse box and turning off where they're gonna do an electric at.
I was like, all right.
It's only 120.
He said, bro, he's been working on that shit so long. He's just like, I eat those, bro. This is nothing. Okay, if I die, it's okay. It was just meant to be.
My, yeah, our landlords used to live in this house, so he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I put in the last one. He's all like, and Stanley doesn't sell garage door openers anymore, so there's no parts, so I had to buy a whole new one. I was like, oh, so you do know everything about this house. That's great. Why doesn't the dishwasher work?
Because I didn't want to pay to fix it.
Pretty much. I mean, he bought a new one, so.
Oh, that's
He
cool.
was like,
Pretty
hey.
chill.
You're like, hey, let me get your number, bro.
Yeah.
Future problems.
It was pretty sweet. He came by
Yeah,
and he was
I
like...
hope he has his landlord's number, Helmar. I hope it
Well,
wasn't just a decision from the dishwasher.
Just give
going,
it-
hey.
No, I thought you were talking about weren't you just talking about electrician? A different.
No,
No,
the,
we
the,
were talking about
the
his
landlord, the last
grabbing 2
owner.
wires in his house.
Yeah,
Oh, I
The
thought
person
you.
that
Oh, okay.
owns the property, Cyrus, is now renting.
the person that used to live there is their landlord.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. I'd hope they had their number.
I'm just sending money to somebody hoping that, you know, they're getting
We
it.
just found a
Hoping
house
they
that was
let you
empty
stay
in city of
living there.
the city of Sparks went, what's the address? Yeah, that's not in the city thing. So I mean, if there's a house there, you have squatters, right?
I was gonna say, once I get mail in that mailbox, dude, it's over for them.
Actually, you have to live there for like 20 years without objection, and then you can claim a property as your own.
Objection.
Mm-hmm.
No, like there's been numerous people that have
Objection.
squatted on a piece of land for the time required. I think it's like 20 years.
Yeah.
Without being caught. And since they were able to do that, they're able to go, this is now my property. And you can do nothing about it.
We should go to Detroit then. There's so many abandoned homes and neighborhoods. We could like get a whole cul-de-sac to ourselves. We just gotta play the long game.
Dude, we can save together and earn like 75 cents to buy 3 jawbreakers.
Oh, for sure.
Since it's a cul-de-sac, you know.
Mm-hmm. Some fucking middle-aged man riding around on his bike in his red hat going, dorks! Get it, Kevin?
I get it.
Yeah, it's like the show.
What show?
Chowder.
Ah, yeah.
Dude, clam chowder's a fucking bomb, dude. I had my coworker rolling one time
Clam
because
chowder's all right.
it's great. It's amazing.
Clam is a little chewy.
Well, if you put it in a chowder, you can just swallow it whole. You guys,
Never had it.
No. Chowder's different from
All
soup because
right.
it's thick. You have to chew it. At least some of the bits in it.
Y'all just talking about.
I was actively trying to
swallowing.
derail.
oh, that's good. We're just discussing mastication. What's your guys'
I'm the
favorite
best at
thing?
that.
What's your guys' favorite thing to masticate on?
Gum.
Okay.
Yeah, gum's pretty good. Especially when it's minty too, like burns when you just put it in your mouth.
Big
No,
red.
you know that the pineapple gum is my favorite to masticate too,
Mm-hmm.
because it's my own kind of flavor. You know. No one else feels that way.
Fucking-
Okay.
I was trying not
I guess
to
I'm
laugh.
the only
Now,
pineapple fan.
flavor. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, some juicy fruit. You know.
Wrigley's? People chew that shit?
Bubba.
Juicy fruit's not pineapple.
Juicy
There's
fruit is not
pineapple
ju-
juicy fruit.
Oh, I've never had it.
No,
Maybe, I
was
don't
gonna
know.
say like juicy fruit.
There's definitely
juicy fruit
pineapple gum,
is-
but juicy fruit was just fruit, you know, and juicy.
Juicy fruit's the yellow one.
Yep.
Juicy fruit's juicy.
Yeah, for like 30 seconds, and then
Literally 30 seconds.
and then it's a rock of just dried sap in your mouth.
You know, I'm an adult, but I'll still reach for the Hubba Bubba bubble tape.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Do you
Hubba Bubba.
do you bite in?
All
Do you
time.
just take the whole roll out and bite into it?
No, I like to function as a regular person in society and roll it out as God intended.
Nah, bro, not me, bro. I eat that shit till I feel like it's enough.
Yeah, I would roll it out like a normal human being, but by the time I was done unrolling it, the whole roll was in my mouth.
Man, the best gum growing up, I think still to this day, was the watermelon Hubba Bubba. Those little squares. You know what I'm
Yes,
talking
sir.
about?
That's
Yes,
a
Fruit
good
sir.
one.
striped gum.
They come with
Yikes
tattoos.
striped.
Made the
fruit
fattest
striped
bubbles
gum.
with those.
Nah, Hubba
Bubble
Bubba.
Used to have
yum.
like used to have bubble making contests, bro, with the homies, like who could make the biggest bubble, you know? It's great.
The Beatles did that once, but it wasn't bubbles. And it
Dog.
wasn't
Yeah,
gum.
the yellow submarine.
Oh,
Fucking this guy.
okay.
This guy.
All right.
Rand's got jokes.
It sounds like jokes, but I'm actually just saying facts.
When are you going on tour, dog?
The Tour de France, yeah.
Tour de
I know
France.
exactly where I'm gonna put the next improvised
I know some
explosive
French. You
gun
ready?
device.
You ready for my French?
Yeah,
Ready?
hit me with it.
I surrender. I surrender.
I mean, that was World War II France, that's for sure.
It was good, huh? It was good. That's all I
Yeah.
know. I'm still learning, but you know.
Or is that World War One France?
World War II.
World War II.
Well,
I
yeah,
it was
okay.
Mussolini.
I thought it was two.
World
No,
War
it's
One was when they
Italy.
were in the trenches with Germany,
That's
and then
right.
World War II they did these. Germany like led them on to believe that they were going to do the same thing, and then they just went right around them into Paris.
Buddy.
Buddy.
Oh my god, my favorite part about The Boys is when Frenchie just like mixes French in with his normal sentences. Hey, we need to get along, mon ami. It kills me. Oh yeah, when he
Wait,
knocks on the
that's- that-
trailer and he's like, "Shut up, bonjour,
He's just bonjour.
bonjour."
Are you sure he's talking French and he's not doing Creole?
No, Frenchie is French. in the
Okay,
show,
because
yeah.
like the oh mon ami thing, that's the same way that Gambit from X-Men talks, and he's from Louisiana.
Yeah, mon ami is French for my friend.
Frenchie is French that was raised in America, that was kidnapped by a Russian mob and became a hitman involuntarily. But he speaks French because he's from France. But he has all those little, like those kind of little dialect things in
Yeah,
between.
because like Louisiana Creole, they mix a lot of French into their dialogue, so like they speak the equivalent to Spanglish but with French.
Yeah, he doesn't have like a
English.
Southern French. It's
Okay.
more of a Canadian Northern French
Okay,
kind of dialect that he has.
Bonjour,
That makes sense.
mon
Yeah,
ami.
because Gambit from X-Men, he does the whole like, "Hey, easy there, mon ami," kind of thing, and he's
Oh,
got the like
petit oui.
Creole.
Archie's my favorite.
No, monsieur, it is simply a mild dose of the hallucinogens. Give me a slight mirage.
There's a lot of memes going on TikTok of just Homelander going, "Oh, Homelander, you gotta kill my wife, do my kid. What do you think I'm gonna
mean
do about
Butcher.
that?" Womp womp. Oh yeah, Butcher. Sorry,
I was like, that's
Butcher.
not how Homelander
Sorry,
talks.
Butcher talking to Homelander. He's like, "Hey, Homelander," and then it just cuts to like pictures that people draw. One of
It's
them's
like,
just
oh, oi, Homelander nicked me only son. In French, he's just bonjour. or it says like Mother Milk shirt, and it's like the gangster fucking SpongeBob just holding the cash.
I saw one and somebody hand drew pictures and it was just A-Train's hairline and then it was Homelander in the corner and it was the what was it? Key and Peele was a sketch where he's the baby and he's like, "I want milk," but with Homelander's face. And then it was Deep over an octopus. So it was like an octopus with the Deep's head on it. This podcast keeps revolving back to The Boys.
Viewers, if you haven't watched The Boys yet,
Mm-hmm.
either do it or don't. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it.
Season
We
4
love it.
is supposed to be a parody on American politics. But with what's happening
nailed it.
recently is like, I feel like American politics is just parodying The Boys.
Speaking of American politics,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what
gas
an
is
event
cheap.
that transpired yesterday.
They got him. No, they didn't. They
They
missed.
tried.
What? They missed. That's how you know whoever you know that's how Hillary reacted apparently. What do you mean they missed?
Because what's crazy is like, because watching the footage, it was during our party last night when it happened.
Yeah.
You see Trump turn his head, and right as he turned his head was when the gunshot went off.
There's actually a few seconds between when his head turns, because he turns, he looks right, he looks back, and then he looks right again,
Mm-hmm.
and then he holds the looking right for like 3 to 5 seconds, and then the shots start.
Which is
Yeah,
crazy.
there's an angle with the snipers that were like overlooking his rally. One of the angles that I saw, there was like one of them crouched and one of them prone behind him, and as he's talking, one of the snipers literally in like a quarter of a second, he looks up and back into his scope and then fires as the round went by Trump's head, and he took out the shooter.
The ridiculous
shout out to,
thing was
shout out to that sniper. He had ridiculous reaction time because he spotted, looked up, and was like, "Oh God," and then reacted.
the problem I have with the whole thing is that the shooters stopped firing before a single one of the Secret Service guys even leapt towards Trump.
This event has brought up, there's Wikipedia pages on the failures of Secret Service. Like, Secret Service has at least one major failure during every president's term.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because like watching their reaction time to it, it was like what?
Yeah, the guys that were actually surrounding him and like telling him to take cover, they were doing it like 4 seconds after the snipers on the roof were returning fire.
Yeah, because like in the like the footage, like you hear the guy go pew 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 pew, and then the firing stops, and
Just
then
like
you
that.
hear pew pew, and then the Secret Service guys jump all over him.
And then about 30 seconds after that, the armed SWAT guards, all 2 of them, went onto 2 sides of the stage, and then they slowly started moving him off. It was like, y'all, if there was more
It's
than
like-
one person, like,
Yeah,
Take your time, don't worry.
yeah.
Lunch is at 4, okay? Wrap it up.
You had one job, just the one.
Yeah, somebody linked the article of what was it, the last guy that shot at the White House when Obama was there, and how the Secret Service, they didn't know that the guy shot at the White House until 4 days later,
Dude.
And-
They're
and they didn't even know that the guy shot at the White House. They didn't know that there was a shooting outside until 4 days later, and then they discovered weeks later that the bullets actually hit the White House. They just went, "Oh, that was weird." That's like going to work and just like, I guess, not clocking in, not doing anything for the first 2 hours and going, "Oh shit, I gotta do my job."
yeah. It's like,
Like
oh,
an
I'm supposed to be
equivalent.
protecting somebody right now. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm not just supposed to stand around with a gun and deter people.
Hey, this wasn't in a meeting
Oh.
this morning.
It's like, wait, you mean we're not deterring people? We're actually supposed to do something if there's a threat around? Oh, I didn't know that.
They should get what's his face? Who's the dude that streams on Kick all the time and has his bodyguards follow him around? I forget what his name is.
T-Pain?
No, not T-Pain. I'm talking about Kick, the guys that go around and just terrorize people because Kick doesn't give a shit.
I was gonna say I think T-Pain's still on Twitch.
Dr.
No?
Disrespect?
No, well, he disrespected somebody. Poor kid.
Again.
Yep. But I feel like the president should walk around with those details. Jack Doherty is another one. He's one of those douche tubers that just has bodyguards that go around and just push people around.
Yeah.
Because the president, I mean, nobody's touching the president if you got one of those people following you around. Oh, speaking of Dr. Disrespect, there was a creator of a Cartoon Network show that was arrested today for some Jared Fogle stuff. And God, I sent the pictures to the group chat of his wiki page getting updated, right? Did anybody see that?
Yeah.
I saw that picture.
I did not.
Date
Okay.
of death, hopefully soon, comma,
In prison.
What show?
Oh,
what show
dude.
was the creator? of?
Those dudes will fucking
look it up.
like they will ask for his paperwork. Like the second the rumor goes around the prison, they will ask for his paperwork, and the second they see that he did something against a child,
It's over.
he will be dead.
Yeah. It says Kyle Carrozza, creator behind Mighty Magiswords for Cartoon Network, has been arrested on 2 counts of COD points possession. Carrozza was arrested and booked in Burbank, California on the morning of Thursday, June 20th.
odd point possession.
Yeah, so this is CP, bro.
Caught me off guard.
But his wiki page was updated. It says Kyle A. Carrozza. It has this picture, and you know when it says sex and it says male or female? It says sex with kids. For his occupations, the word occupation was replaced with striking a minor, credited with being an animator, cartoonist, voice actor, storyboard artist, musician, pedophile, and a certified lover boy. His extra striking a minor, his birthday is who gives a shit, and then date of death, hopefully soon, comma, in prison.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
I agree.
Yeah. Fucking loser. He was actually, I looked up his IMDb to see what he was working on. The latest iteration of the Fairly Odd Parents show, he was working on it as a storyboard artist.
Damn.
I don't know how Nickelodeon's dodging this bullet and they're just bringing up Cartoon Network.
You mess
Dude,
with
for real.
kids, you deserve to be dead.
Yeah, you suck.
Point blank. Period, bro. You're scum of the earth, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm reading through
Like-
the charges and I'm just like,
somebody
you
that is
suck.
convicted of things against a child should just immediately be put to death.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, buts, no appeals. If you are convicted of it, you are immediately executed.
And if state laws prohibit that, the minimum, the minimum thing if they're going to be kept alive is chemical castration.
Well, no, see,
Chemical
it wouldn't,
castration.
it wouldn't matter what the state laws were. If the federal law is more strict, they have to follow that.
Yeah. Here we are with legalized marijuana. I think we could get around.
Well, no.
federal
So
loopholes.
that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Is marijuana is legal per state legislation. The DEA could still come in and arrest every single person that has drugs on them. The DEA could still come arrest every single one of us, even though our state says it is legal. The federal government could come and arrest every single person.
DEA, more like Diarrhea Enforcement Agency. Butts.
Like
They
that's
stink.
that's the crazy thing.
Yeah. But they
People
won't.
wonder why we have the Second Amendment. It's a clear reason because of shit like that.
Weed brings in too many taxes in Nevada, though.
Weed brings in too many taxes all over the country. That's why it's getting pushed to be federally legalized.
Yeah.
At some point, people go, oh, we can fund more NFL stadiums with this. Let's do it.
Of all the
Hell yeah.
dumbass shit Biden did, and it probably wasn't even Biden's decision, but while he was in office, I forget which state it was, but he pardoned a bunch of people that were in prison because of marijuana.
There's still people
Like,
in Nevada that are
things,
doing
yeah.
years for marijuana
There's
possession.
still people all over the country that are still in prison because they had a little bit of dope on them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And it sucks because if you live in a state where it was decriminalized, at least you should be looking at getting out pretty soon, honestly.
Literally.
Yeah.
You've already
So
served
the
some
only-
time.
So the problem with that though is like, so yeah, say they were, but like what if they were like trafficking?
That's different.
Yeah, it's like okay, so like they didn't get busted for a little bit of weed on them. They got busted with a moving truck with 300 pounds of weed in the back of it.
And they have to spend money.
That's a different story.
They have to
yeah.
spend money to go case by case, and they're never gonna do that.
Yeah, and like that is
Yeah.
that's the same, that I'm on the same page as that. It's like if it was somebody that got busted for having like a half ounce of weed on them 15 years ago and they're sitting in prison for life.
Driving to the Harold and
Let them
Kumar
out.
movie.
Let them out. Yeah.
What did you expect?
If they had like obvious things of like selling like scales, baggies to
Yeah.
distribute it, paraphernalia like that, then it's a
Yep.
different story. But if someone was just caught with pot on them and not even something to smoke with, they just re-upped and they got their shit for the next month or two.
Anybody that was
It's like-
busted for possession basically should be
Literally.
released.
I think Oklahoma is like still one of the strictest states, like because they catch people all the time just coming in and out. Like they'll pull over someone just crossing the state line, and they'll have just a pen on them, and they'll arrest whoever has it in the car because it's not legal there.
Correct.
It's like, but we're half a mile. We're not even a mile into the state. It's like, it doesn't matter. You're in Oklahoma. You're going to jail now.
Yeah, and you brought it across state lines. That's
Going
commerce
bringing
problem.
it across state lines is bad.
Did you see Wiz Khalifa just got arrested on stage in Romania for lighting a joint?
Really?
Yeah,
I thought that was old news. I thought that happened a while ago.
it just hit the headlines recently.
That's happened to somebody else before then, because I remember something like that happening a while ago.
pull up the article.
It might not have been in Romania, but
Well, that's how they busted Brittany Griner when she was sentenced in Russia. She had a vape pen on her.
yeah, that's
Also,
right. I remember that one.
Yeah, she's an American, has a vape pen on her, and then she tries to leave the country, and they go, "Uh-oh, weed, 8 years. Next." Stupid American.
Yeah.
American.
Yeah, it says Wiz Khalifa was one of the
Stupid
stars to
bitch. No.
perform at the local Beach Please festival in Romania. The American rapper is famous for... Okay, whatever, who cares? Wiz Khalifa was taken into custody by local police after he was seen smoking what seemed like a joint of marijuana on stage. Eater, that's illegal.
The fact that weed is looked down on so much, but alcohol is like fine everywhere, is
And
just
tobacco.
absolutely mind blowing to me. But it,
To this
it
day.
really, you have basically Nixon to thank for that.
Oh, Nixon.
Appreciate you, Nixon.
I'm not a crook.
We're gonna
Not
start a
anymore, but
war
you
on
was.
drugs.
Put my head in a jar.
Okay, we'll make cocaine,
That was Reagan.
and it's
Yeah.
easier to smuggle.
Richard Nixon, Reagan, and there was one other guy, I can't remember which president it was, that was just like drugs. Are
them
bad."
'80s boys.
Probably HW.
The 70s and 80s presidents.
So, like Carter, Reagan, HW.
Po-
All in a row?
Carter,
Post,
that's the other one.
yeah, Carter.
The two actors.
You know Carter's still alive? He's almost 100.
Yeah, he's the oldest living president.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, new theory. He's eligible for second term because he only served once.
That is
So,
true.
He's the
That is
perfect
true.
age.
You know, if Donald Trump and he's there, yeah, let's get Jimmy Carter back in the fight.
Why not?
I mean, he's probably more cognizant than Biden at this point.
Dude, comeback of the year for Jimmy Carter.
Dude, seeing clips of Joe Biden like back in the day when he was like 40, 50, and he's actually able to talk, right?
He had bars,
And then
dude.
nowadays, it's like, wow.
Such a stark difference because he was very snippy. Yeah, he's a sarcastic person. He's probably built for it tough. I mean, because you think about like his life in the 70s where he lost his kid, lost his wife, and shit like that. Like, he's like, "That's it. I'm gonna be funny." And then Obama said, "Oh shit, what up? Let's roll."
But then again, that happened almost 30 years before I was born, so I'm like, Vietnam happened. Why do I care about a politician's shitty life?
Yeah.
Like, when they were sending 18-year-olds into a jungle with no combat experience.
Vietnam happened. The Holocaust happened.
At the same time. It's crazy.
Basically, technically,
Basically.
the Jewish Holocaust ended, but the Holocaust of slaves and people that are doing shit against their will has never stopped, and even in today's world, there's more slaves today in today's world than there were when the fucking Emancipation Proclamation went into
Hot
effect.
take: every American citizen is actually a slave.
Actually, I can go to the store and buy
He's not
bacon
wrong,
whenever I
We
want.
are all trading work for money, and that money's value is set by people that we do not control.
The founding fathers revolted against Britain over a fucking 3% tea tax, and now we pay
And
like
we're paying
20% of our
12.
money to our
Mhm.
taxes. Like,
Yeah.
This is the
you
type
want
of
to buy
thinking.
something, pays taxes. You want to sell something, pay taxes.
Yep. You want to drive your car that you had. You want to drive a car? Okay. You get to pay taxes on the car when you buy it. You get to pay taxes on the fuel to drive it. You get to pay taxes on the car to register it every year. You get to
Pay taxes on the insurance.
You get to pay taxes for the road maintenance. Like you're being taxed into oblivion. Every single one of us is being held in poverty by our own government and corporate greed. Capitalism itself is a problem.
Yeah.
What about lowercaseism?
This is why we don't pay our taxes, people.
Lowercaseism. That's the thing, Cyrus. Capitalism doesn't think about the lowercase.
Do you know who Anthony Jeselnik is, Brandon? Because what you just said was the start to one of his jokes that gets thrown around on Reels.
I've never heard of that person before. That just came off the top of my head.
Yeah, his humor is basically like he sets up the punchline for a joke and then does a complete right turn for the punchline. Like his was exactly what you said. He's like, did you know that there's more slaves in the world right now than there were, 300 years ago? And then he follows it up with, it's a shame. He's all like, but there is a job that's worse than that. Somebody's out there
I think I've
counting
seen that
slaves.
clip, actually. Yeah.
It's absurd. You should just look up Anthony Jeselnik highlights, like it's a sports reel, but it's just him talking. Damn, we got off track. Yeah, American politics. I'm waiting for.
Politics. They're just as
We
fucked.
need to lower the age limit for people to be voted into office, and also lower put an age limit on how old people can be going into office.
Yes, that is a fact. I don't think the age limit needs to be lower.
At least for
30
the president, because 35 years old
35.
is like kind of wild.
So I'm 37 right now, and
Vote Colton.
I'm gonna be 37 soon.
Vote Colton. Everybody right now.
Vote Colton for president.
Put him on your ballot.
Colton for president. Let's get it.
In all honesty, I can say that before I was in my 30s, you're too emotional to be the president of the United States. Plus, the other thing is with being, in your 20s, you're still trying to kind of figure out who you are, what direction you want to go. There's a lot of things on your mind other than the priorities of the people. There's the priorities of your generation, which is a big thing because your generation has a lot longer to go. Whereas like somebody in their mid 30s, they're tied to both the older generation and the younger generation, and they kind of bridge the gap. I definitely agree that there should be a age limit for terms. I don't think anybody over retirement age should be allowed to run for president, i.e.
Yes.
60, 65.
I think it's because
65, 70 older. That's it. Like,
So I don't think you should be allowed to be
retiring.
president. I don't think you should be allowed to be president past the age of 70, which would mean that the maximum age that you could run for president would be 65. Because then you would get your one
A
term,
4-year
4
term,
years,
yeah.
you're out at 69.
nice.
I feel like when the founding fathers or whenever the law came into effect that you had to be 35 to be the president, nobody ever thought how stupid the average American would be to vote in a bunch of geezers.
They probably didn't think that people will be living as long.
Term
Like-
limits were a thing back when the founding fathers were around. It's been like propagated and pushed into action with amendments and stuff like that, where people have been basically given lifetime roles.
Yeah, because
and
like
that's
when George
wrong.
Washington was president, there was no, and like the presidents after him, there was no set term limit. I think it was getting like around the time of World War II when that was really set in stone for 2 terms of 4 years
FDR.
was put into the thing.
Because FDR did 3 terms because after the war they put him back in.
That's right, yeah, because FDR.
Let me see, FDR. Good old FDR.
What's
He was in a
that?
wheelchair.
Yeah,
It was FDR or whoever was, no, because after him it was Eisenhower. No, Eisenhower was a little later.
Wasn't it because FDR was a vice president, took over as president, and then ran for president twice? I think that's how his thing went.
I don't think so. I think
He-
things were things changed a little bit because of World War One and World War Two. Because Theodore Roosevelt became president because he was vice president and the person in front of him was assassinated. Actually, I don't know if he served 2 terms after that, and then.
So I'm looking up
I don't know.
FDR and his history. He was the member of the New York State Senate before becoming the Assistant Secretary of the Navy and was elected as the 44th governor of New York, which gave him the platform to run for president of the United States from 1933 to 1945. He was president for 12 years,
So that's 3 terms.
3 full terms.
Yeah.
The only president to serve more than 2. Because I think they saw it as scary at the time, and they were like, we're just gonna keep electing this guy. It wasn't supposed to be for life. It was supposed to be new people every once in a while.
No, at the time they believed he was him, bro.
He was him.
Well,
They called
during
him Hot
wartime,
Wheels, did you know that?
It's like, it's the guy.
Yeah, during wartime, a president can I can't remember what the term is for what they're able to claim, but they're able to take a form of power that allows them to stay in power until
During
that
the war,
wartime's
yeah,
over.
during the wartime, yeah.
Even if their term limit were to end. And so
Mhm.
like there's been theories for years that there'd be a president that would come along and they would set up a situation where they were able to declare martial law. That's it. They'd be able to declare martial law. And then by them claiming martial law, they would be able to then put in the laws in place where they would never be able to be removed from office.
Because it's wartime and it's not making amendments to the Constitution. It's just making rules for the wartime.
Yep, and as long as they keep the war going forever, they can never be removed.
Sorry, I'm looking it up. It said that there's a FDR 4th term. I don't know if it was something that he tried running for or successfully got. Oh, he ran for a 4th term, despite the fact that he knew he was passing away soon. Yeah, because he died a year after he stopped being president, or the same year even.
Yeah.
That's what all presidents should do, honestly.
Biden still got a couple months to do the funniest thing ever.
Dude, Biden has the opportunity to make Black Ops 2 a reality by 2025 by having a Madam President in 2025.
That would actually be insane. I did see a meme, though, talking about how I think it was the 2 presidents that hated each other. I think it was James and Monroe or Jackson. No. Fuck, it was the 2 presidents that hated each other. I know one of them was Adams, but they both died on the 4th of July.
Andrew Jackson. Whoa. I think it was Andrew Jackson that died in the duel.
Not the ones that died in a duel. It was 2 presidents. They did not like each other, like because they were founding fathers and they always beefed with each other. But they both died on the 4th of July, hours apart from each other.
Oh, it was John Adams and another. I know what you're talking about. They died on the 4th of July, like 20 years after.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson and John Adams died on July 4th, 20 years or so on the exact same day.
No, it was
July 4th.
It was on July 4th, 18 something. They both died on the exact same day, hours apart.
I think it was 1876. No, that's too far apart.
That is way too far apart.
That's 100 years.
Hold on. I'm looking it up. John Adams.
I think it ended in a 6 because it was like on an even number from 1776, from like when the Declaration of Independence was signed.
July 4th, 1826. But they died
26
hours
so 50
apart.
years. 50 years after the Declaration of Independence.
So what happened was somebody quote tweeted it and said, "Yo, Biden and Trump could do the funniest thing today." Just do a callback episode.
Yeah, and then we would definitely know we were in a simulation at that point.
Trump doesn't even have a running mate yet, does he? So it's like if he, for some reason, passed away, would they have to just go back to the RNC and elect somebody else because he doesn't have a running mate?
No, it would be whoever gets elected as the vice president.
He doesn't have a running mate.
He's not the vice president. He's not.
He doesn't. He doesn't have to have a running mate. There'll still be people put on the ballot for vice president.
Which is weird because
well, who isn't the running mate usually picks the elect for the vice president? So who would pick the next pick, just like the majority of the Republicans.
Probably.
The way it used to work was the two
Mitt
presidential.
Romney 2024.
Oh Jesus!
Fuck no.
About to get Mormon up in here. Let's go. But the way they used to do it was the two leading candidates for the presidency. Whoever won was president, and the loser would be vice president. But now you can pick
Yeah,
running mates.
I don't think that's how it should be either.
Yeah, that's can
Yeah.
Can you imagine Trump as vice president these last 4 years?
Could you imagine?
Can you imagine? That's it. I have nothing more to say.
Well, yeah, fuck. What would be worse, having Donald Trump as the vice president or Biden as the vice president? Like,
No, imagine the State of the Unions, just them arguing with each other like they were about golf a few weeks ago.
it's like,
No,
yeah,
it wouldn't have
the
even been that.
union's
Trump
right.
would have just been standing behind Biden making faces at every single thing he was doing. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Say
And all
Trump.
supporters would be sitting there being like, yeah, he's being fun. It's like, no, he's being a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a large difference between a 76-year-old and a 6-year-old. But if you're acting like a 6-year-old as a 76-year-old and it's not in front of your grandkids, there's an issue. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Term limits, age limits need to be a thing for the president.
We're in support.
Also, maybe, not corporate executives
or convicted felons.
politicians.
You don't think my dad would make good president? Come on. You met the man?
I'd vote for Billy for the meme.
For the meme? Shit, I would too.
Just so I could have the little sticker that says I voted for Billy. I put it right next to my bumper sticker that says Sasquatch tried to eat my ass,
Poor Sasquatch.
which I still need to put on my truck, actually.
So you lied to me.
Well, my truck's dirty. I don't want to fucking just fall off immediately.
Hey, bud, I got a solution. Wash it.
Wash it.
It's a 01. I've washed it maybe like 10 times since I've had it.
Do you do an undercarriage wash at least to get all the salt off of it from the winter?
Every now and again, yeah.
All right,
Like
that's fair.
I'll go through the like the drive-through, the drive-through car wash.
Hey, can I
I do
get
that
a
at least. I do that at least
rinse?
once a year. But if it's a rainstorm and it like rains for a couple months, and it's just building up on there, I'll clean the windows. But the paint's already the clear coat on the hood is gone off. The clear coat on the top of the cabin's gone off. The clear coat on the camper shell is awesome. It's still sitting there. It's chipping a little bit like towards the bottom parts of it, but the top of it's still good. But it's an 01. I'm not worried about the paint job. If I have to spend money on it, it's to keep it running. I don't care how the fuck it looks.
We could fill in the spots with a magic marker. We got you.
They started salting our roads here a couple years ago.
Oh, was it something they didn't do?
Annoying. Yeah. They started doing it because semi trucks can't be bothered to slow the fuck down during winter and keep causing delays and wrecks and stuff like that.
There's probably not a lot of chain restriction zones through there, huh? Even though you get snow.
No, they're all over the place. The semis refuse to chain up.
Oh wow.
Even though they're required to carry chains. It's not like they
Yep.
don't have them.
Yeah. No,
It's not like they
just
go
refuse
across
to
state
use them.
lines all the time. It's probably just like the truckers that are just going from Portland to the border of Idaho, just on day to day. And they're like, oh, it's snowy. I don't want to put on my chains. I want to get home.
Yeah, and those are the dipshits that end up in the fucking ditch.
It's
There's
Sideways
around
across
winter
the entire
time,
highway.
just driving to the couple miles out to where I have to go to work, there's a slight little couple hills. Like it's not even a hill, but your car will slow down because you have to go uphill for a second. Every time it snows over and it's icy right there, some trucker fucking ends up sliding and blocking both lanes of the highway and blocking it up.
It's harder to do that from the Port of Oakland to here because you have to go over I-80 to get into Reno, and they have chain checkpoints. Like you can't go past if you don't have chains on.
Yeah, and they have that checkpoint station between Nevada and there.
Mm-hmm.
Going into California, that's wild that they don't have something like that going into California or going into Nevada rather.
Yeah.
Just because that little pass that goes in there like right after Boomtown, that gets just as icy as Donner when it's wintertime.
Nevada pays people to stay in the casinos, not to check our, safe roads. Quote
But
unquote
Nevada
safe.
has better roads than California, though.
Yeah.
The casinos pay for it.
Yeah, the casinos pay for the road and the weed.
The casinos pay for the roads because the mob
And the
has to have
raiders.
their supply of whatever come in.
Why don't they just put a bunch of salt in the back of a semi and just have him dump it while he drives over the pass? Problem solved. Come on.
Find the best driver in the region. And it's like, okay, you dump salt.
Can we get F1 but for semi trucks? Because I'd watch the shit out of that.
That'd be awesome.
All right. Let's get
There's
started.
semi-truck
Pretty tight,
racing.
They
I've
do
seen that
semi
before.
truck track racing in Europe and stuff. Like so in Forza Horizon 5, like the semi trucks that you could mod out to like drag race and like drift and stuff like that, they actually do semi truck drifting.
Yeah, and like I've seen like semi-truck, like drag racing where it's giant fucking trucks like that, and they just scream like a goddamn rocket just to go 10 miles an hour on the first 100
Dude,
feet of the
no.
track.
But those dudes end up cranking by the end, though. Like
Oh,
those
but
drag
by the time,
semis
oh
are
yeah,
fucking
by the time they
moving.
get up to speed, they're an unstoppable force. Yeah.
And you better hope to God that thing never runs away because they're diesels, and if that engine starts running away, you're not stopping it.
All right, boys.
'Cause I've seen a bunch of, not a bunch, but those semi-truck things. Excuse me. And the truck will start going, and then all of a sudden the engine just gets sucked into like the drivetrain, like all the shit just crumples together because there's so much power that's right there, and one little thing makes it fucking fault, and it just fucking crumples in on itself.
They do like diesel pickup dynos and stuff like that at drag race events all over the US, and there was one that happened in Indianapolis, and the truck ran away. Like it didn't like hop off the dyno, but when a diesel ends up being unable to be shut down, it's called running away.
Yeah.
There was one on a dyno that ran away, and it literally launched a piston into the Indianapolis Speedway sign.
Wow.
That was like, and it's like 50 feet off the ground, and it sent a piston through the O, or like one of the letters. It was like an A or something like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
it sent a piston through the sign.
That's crazy.
Diesel trucks are nasty.
That's why I put the green handle in my car when I fill up. I see how well those work, It's pretty. Sierra got her mom with that prank last week. It's pretty funny. I got to witness it.
The what?
When you call up your parents and you tell them you put the wrong gas in the car?
Oh.
Yeah. She
I wanted to save some money, so I put the green gas in it.
Yeah. No, yeah, she called her mom and said, "Yeah, so I put I thought the green gas was like more eco-friendly, so I put it in the car and then it wouldn't start. So I tried it like 4 or 5 more times and it just wouldn't get going." And I told Sierra, I was like, "Make sure you tell her that you started it like 4 or 5 times just to make sure that it wasn't starting." Thumbs up.
It's actually less bad to put diesel in a gas car than it is to put gas in a diesel. Because the diesel won't like ignite with your spark plugs or anything like that, and like if you put enough of it in, it'll gum things up. But
Basically, just
diesel-
floods the engine, right?
yeah, basically, because
Flood.
all you'd basically have to do is replace the gas and then pump it through the injectors enough, and it would basically clean itself out. Whereas, like, if you put gasoline in a diesel, it will literally just eat itself. Because the reason, like, diesel fuel is also the lubrication for diesel engine. There's oil in diesel.
That's why it rolls
Oh.
coal if you have
Yep.
too much. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because gasoline is refined oil and diesel is less refined oil.
That makes sense.
So I could also use chicken grease, right?
You can actually set up a diesel vehicle to run off of like fry oil and stuff like that. You just need a heater in your tank and filters to get the contaminants out of it. But yeah,
bro,
like
I was
you
joking.
could
That's pretty dope, though.
you could run a diesel pickup with an extra filter on the fuel line and a heater for the tank to keep the fuel liquefied, pretty much just on fry oil that you get from like a Chinese restaurant.
That's cool, bro. The more you know.
There's tons of guys that make their own eco diesel too, where they compress it down and stuff and make it better than just like pouring in raw oil.
Fucking A.
It's like how with the people that figure out how to use water as a fuel source, it's a very logical and known scientific thing. It's how nuclear submarines keep fresh drinking water in air while they stay submerged for so long, because they take seawater and they do that thing and they turn it into air and water. You can drink it and you can breathe it.
Yeah, so what they're doing with that is they're using the nuclear reactor on the submarine to turn the seawater into steam. And then they're redistilling the water that's steam form back into drinkable water. And then as far as the air goes, I believe they actually have to surface to refill their air tanks.
There was, I forget what it was, but I was watching a video about submarines. It's mostly used to put water back on it, but a little bit of the steam, like a heater. I guess I don't remember if exactly was a heater part, but like if you're putting hot steam into whatever and it would do whatever.
Yeah,
I don't remember the exact part of it, but
you can extract some of the oxygen out of it and stuff.
Yeah,
by atomizing the water and extracting the hydrogen in the water or the oxygen.
Yeah, because they do have to resurface eventually to refill all that, but while they're staying submerged, they use part of what they're recircling to make their water as breathable air to prolong their.
That's what they're doing. They're using air recirculators. They're basically scrubbing carbon dioxide. The air you breathe comes out as carbon dioxide mixed with the oxygen you didn't breathe. They're using air scrubbers like they do on like the ISS and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which it basically takes the carbon dioxide, scrubs the carbon dioxide away, releases that, and then releases what oxygen was left in it back into the system. They still have to purge the system every now and again to retake fresh oxygen.
Science
I think Cyrus was trying to end the podcast a little bit ago.
Yeah, I was gonna cut in, but I was like, hold on, diesel conversation.
Yeah, bro. Hitting us with the straight facts. With the straight knowledge. Education.
So thank you for joining us for another episode of the Cobb Brothers podcast. This was iteration number, I'm going to say 153, because we took a few weeks off.
I think, yeah.
Pretty sure it's 153. If not, I just look stupid saying it. Make sure you check out our socials down below.
Everyone point your fingers
Have
at
we
Cyrus.
done more podcasts than the Misfits at this point before they broke up?
I'm not sure. We might. Let me look it up right now. But make sure you check out our socials down below. Beat of the Week's always on SoundCloud, and at the end of every podcast, there's a brand new one every single week.
Hit that motherfucking bell. Hit the like.
Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. Smash like and subscribe at the same time.
Nope, Misfits got to 175.
Okay, so we just got to make it to, I think, the new year.
176.
Yeah, that'll do. Anybody got any closing remarks? Things they need to get off their chest?
Yeah.
The Gaga?
You got any suggestions for your beat, or you already got your beat down?
I don't got one yet.
Week?
The beat of the meat.
For the beat of the meat. Wow. You should do the, what's it called? Fuck. It's the SpongeBob one. About to be my meat. Boo, 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 boo.
Oh, you mean like this?
About to be my meat. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. About to be my meat. About to be my meat. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. About to be my meat. About to be my meat. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. About to be my meat. About to be my meat. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. About to be my meat. About to be my meat. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. About to be my meat. About to be my meat. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. About to be my meat. Boo, 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 boo.